The Russian Revolution, 1917. Trade union membership amounts to nearly 2 million workers throughout Russia. In 1917, the total population of the country is 145 million. With Trotsky, Stalin, and other Bolshevik leaders present, the party votes again on their earlier decision to join the pre-parliament. This time around, only one vote supports joining the government. Parliament begins its first session when the Bolshevik time slot arrives. Trotsky delivers a scathing speech and drops a bombshell. The Bolsheviks will not participate. For the next 11 days, the pre-parliament tries to create some unity among its remaining members, but on their first and most urgent question, what to do about the war, it fails to find a majority position. Mass confusion and despair began to set in. The Bolshevik Central Committee debates and approves the decisions to overthrow the provisional government and to follow the tactics suggested by Lenin, who illegally arrived in Petrograd 3 days earlier. The Petrograd Soviet creates its own military revolutionary committee, which will lead the insurrection. The Bolsheviks, Kamenev and Zinoviev, announced the Bolshevik plan for revolution in Menshevik newspaper. Lenin demands that both be expelled from the party despite his close relations with them. Kamenev and Zinoviev defend their position before the party, exclaiming that they are simply expressing a difference of opinion. Lenin responds that public dissent is certainly acceptable, but not after a decision of such a serious nature and magnitude similar to that of a strike is democratically made up by the party. While they would both be expelled, they were soon after forgiven. Stalin would later interpret these events and how they should be handled differently. The recently appointed Minister of War, Vidhovsky, makes an impromptu appearance before the pre-parliament and demands that Russia immediately make peace or face complete catastrophe. He is completely ridiculed and sent on a leave of absence. The October Revolution begins. By nightfall, Trotsky has led the Red Guards and Soviet workers to control all the bridges that cross the Neva and keep positions throughout the city, including all the roads in the city. Lenin arrives at Smolny and takes command of the Red Guards and Workers' Soviet. By morning, the Red Guards have seized the General Post Office, the train stations, the power stations, the State Bank, the Central Telephone Exchange, the main government buildings, the Winter Palace, General Staff Headquarters, the Mariinsky Palace, and a few other points still remain in the hands of the provisional government. At 10 a.m., the Revolutionary Military Committee publishes to the citizens of Russia announcing victory. At 10:40 in the evening, the Second All-Russian Congress of the Soviets opens in the Smolny, and the Mensheviks and SRs walk out. Kerensky flees to the north in order to start a counter-revolutionary rebellion. In retrospect of the 26 current members of the Bolshevik Central Committee at the time of the revolution, 12 would be executed in the purges of the 1930s. At 2 a.m., the Winter Palace is captured, thus bringing victory for the revolution in Petrograd, without a single life lost by either side. The Congress of the Soviets resolves at 3 a.m. to workers, soldiers, and peasants. Further, the decree on peace and the decree on land is issued, in addition to the formation of a new government. After all the victories and defeats, Lenin proclaims the victory of the revolution, assuring people, "Remember that now you yourselves are at the helm of state. No one will help you if you yourselves do not unite and take into your hands all affairs of the state. Your Soviets are from now on the organs of state authority, legislative bodies with full power."